All right, next video. The dumbest lottery winners of all time.
From accidentally throwing a £3 million lottery ticket in the bin to spending an entire
If I threw a $3 billion lottery ticket in the trash, I would never live that down. I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind.
entire $16 million prize in under 90 days. These are the absolute dumbest lottery winners of all time, beginning with Jose Antonio Cuartoc, who almost lost his entire lottery fortune after getting someone else to claim the money for him. You see, when Jose won the $750,000 jackpot back in 2010, he was living in the US illegally, so Jose asked his boss to claim the prize on his behalf, as he feared he couldn't claim the money without potentially facing legal trouble and deportation. This worked out perfectly until Jose's boss began to falsely state that he was the one who had actually purchased the ticket.
No! Oh my god, the boss just fucking over the worker and saying, yes, sorry, this is my money.
Taking legal action against his boss was risky, given Jose wasn't supposed to be in the country at all. However, given he had security camera footage of him purchasing the ticket, Jose did so and was able to prove that he was the rightful owner to the $750,000 prize. Only $250,000 of this went to taxes, another $250,000 was spent on court fees, and throughout the legal process, Jose was jailed for drunk driving and was deported back to Guatemala as soon as he won the court case. However,
Oh my god! Bro, everything's gone. You have no fucking earning, bro. More of that's gonna fucking go away because you gotta make it back.
at least Jose Antonio Cuartoc got to keep some of his winnings, as Denise Rossi wasn't so fortunate.
Joe, my mom made an OnlyFans. What do I do in this situation? I'm sub to it to make sure she does nothing too weird. That's fucking, oh my, that's not real.
When Denise won a jackpot of $1.3
Oh,
million back in 1996, she'd been married to Thomas Rossi for over 25 years, yet their relationship was apparently lacking in transparency, as Denise didn't tell her husband about the win, and instead filed for divorce only 11 days after buying the lucky ticket. I was afraid to tell Thomas because I knew he would try to take the money away from me. I went to the Lottery Commission office and told them I was married but contemplating divorce. They told me to file before I got my first check, which I did. Denise was initially successful in hiding the money from her now ex-husband, as for a whole 2 years after their divorce.
That's crazy though. Do you think she's in the wrong or him? If you win 1.6 mil, you hate your husband, you want to get a divorce, you think they're gonna steal the money. You've still been married to them for 25 fucking years. Like, I don't know.
Thomas had no idea that Denise had ever won the lottery. However, in May 1999, a letter was sent to Thomas's home address asking if Denise was interested in a lump sum buyout of her lottery winnings. This was the first Thomas knew about the lottery prize. He confirmed that Denise was a winner with the California lottery, and given they were still married at the time of the win, Thomas launched a lawsuit stating that he was entitled to half of the prize money. The judge specifically found that
I mean, if I was the husband, I would do the same damn thing. If I was the husband, I would do the same fucking thing. If I'm the husband and I'm married and she fucking divorces me, I'm doing the same fucking thing. Oh yeah, I'm getting half that fucking prize.
Denise's failure to disclose the lottery winnings constituted fraud, oppression, and malice, and as a result, the trial court awarded Thomas 100% of the lottery winnings.
Dude, imagine you win a $1.6 million lottery and you get 0% of it.
Which left Denise with less than nothing, considering she also had to pay for her own legal fees.
Oh my god.
However, Denise's loss of $1.3 million was still nothing in comparison to Evelyn Adams. Dubbed the luckiest woman in America, Evelyn Adams became the first person in human history to win the lottery twice, initially for $3.9 million in October 1985, before winning another $1.4 million only 4 months later.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
With the probability of this win being approximately 1 in 17.3 trillion, Evelyn seemed to realize that she had no lottery luck left by stating that she was going to quit playing, and instead began to buy various businesses, including the convenience store where the lucky tickets had been purchased. While you could argue that this was a smart move, Evelyn still hadn't fixed her gambling problem, and instead of buying more lottery tickets, she instead took the rest of her winnings to the Atlantic City casinos.
Oh, not AC! Not Atlantic City! Oh, that's where I've been. Dude, the amount of people that are actually mental there and stay there for like actually 20 hours on end just gambling everything. Oh my god. Am I gonna go there when I'm 21? Yeah, but like, am I gonna blow everything I fucking have? Oh my god, you won $5 million and you lost all of it?
where she lost her entire remaining fortune to the slot machines.
How much did she
Without any money left, her
to a
business
slot machine? Not even like high fucking stakes roulette? A fucking slot machine? Like fucking $30 slot pools?
businesses failed one after the other, and by 2012, Evelyn was living in a trailer park while stating to the media, winning the lottery isn't always what it's cracked up to be. Kelly Rogers likely
No, I
had
think it'll always winning the Powerball could be terrible. If you win the Powerball, you are so rich that people are going to try and take your money. You're going to lose a lot of friends. You're going to have a lot of people ask you for money. That can be bad. If you win like $1 million on a scratch off, if you lose that money, that's your fault. That's your fault. Like if you win $5 million and that's why you're complaining, you just lost the money.
only 16, her life was also ruined. Initially, Kelly stated, "I will not go wild and spend loads. I'm gonna take some advice and see an accountant. Hopefully I will make us all comfortable. I want to help my family, but I won't change. I just want a normal home, nothing posh. I just want a normal car as well." However, as soon as she received the money, Kelly instead spent £11,500 on 2 boob jobs, £300,000 on clothes, makeup and tattoos, as well as £85,000 on top of the range sports cars. Kelly spent a further £250,000 on holidays to locations including Mexico and Euro Disney,
Bro, 250K on fucking holidays, on trips? I feel like, dude, you would be able to take 45 fucking vacations. More. $250,000. £250,000 in vacations. Dude, what are you vacationing for fucking 6 years?
£18,000 on gifts to former boyfriends, £190,000 in unreturned loans to friends and family members, and £50,500 on solicitors' fees, all of which being purchased while she was still in high school. Kelly did make a few smart purchases such as an £180,000 bungalow and a £96,000 home for her mum. However, by the end of the year, Kelly was back to square one, being on welfare.
At the end of the year and on welfare after fucking 7 months of winning the lottery for $1.6 million.
With only £2,000 left in her account. She since stated, "It was too much money for someone so young. Even if you say your life won't change, it does, and often not."
I don't think that's it. I think it's, it might be, yeah, too young, and it's also just the misguidance. Part of the issue for lottery winners is a lot of people that win the lottery have very little money, have never had a lot of money, have no idea how to use that money, and are also usually gambling addicts. And so those things combined almost always end up with the money being gone later on.
For the better.
Yeah, I just wish I was a bit older at the time of winning it, because I think at 16, you're still just a child, and overnight, you've just got to grow up and become an adult.
Which is probably why she's now an advocate for raising the UK's legal gambling age from 16 to 18. Kelly Rogers certainly spent her money poorly. However, at least she had the chance to spend it, as 25-year-old Amanda Clayton from Detroit was no longer alive by the end of her spending spree. When Amanda won the $1 million jackpot back in 2011, it seemed as though her life had been changed overnight. However, her win quickly became controversial after the media learned that she was still collecting food stamps and benefit payments despite having won the lottery.
Detroit woman is now the second lotto winner in the state to keep taking food stamps after hitting it big. And Amanda Clayton, who won $1 million and took home a $700,000 lump sum, the 24-year-old says even though she now owns two homes, she figured she was still allowed
Can't have anything in Detroit, but why?
to use a bridge card.
After being confronted about the behavior, Amanda had the following to say.
I thought that they would cut me off, but since they didn't, I thought maybe it was okay because I'm not working.
And shortly thereafter, she was charged with 2 felony counts of welfare fraud and was ordered to pay back the $5,500 worth of food stamps she'd received. While Amanda quickly paid the $5,500 back, she never got the chance to spend the rest of.
Why would you stay on food stamps and welfare? You win $1 million. Invest most of it. Live off some of it while you're finding a job, and then wait 20 years and your money will have been compounded and you can retire.
The money, as only 6 months later she would unfortunately overdose in one of her 2 homes.
Oh my God.
He says she was tormented by the fame and the problems that came with winning the lottery.
What's the point of having money if you're not gonna have happiness?
He says she didn't want the money anymore and bought things for her family and set up college funds for her children. He says she only had $67,000 of her winnings left. left.
The end to Amanda Clayton's story was somewhat unexpected. However, a 2-second glance at Ryan McGee is more than enough to predict that this lottery win would eventually end.
Yeah, because I know it's going to scale higher and higher. That's how he set up this video. Because I know there's a few lottery winners that won like $100 million and lost all of it. Like, imagine winning $100 million and then going dead broke. Like, how is that even fucking possible?
Disaster. After winning £6.4 million back in 2008 at the age of 27, Ryan was placed on the Sunday Times Top 100 Rich list for young people. He purchased a luxury mansion in his home country of Ireland, which featured 5 bedrooms, an indoor swimming pool, a full champagne bar, and a 2-car garage where he kept his brand new Ferrari 458 Italia.
Oh, that's a nice car. Oh, that's a nice car. Oh, that's a nice car.
However, as you might expect, this is where things began to go terribly. Only 3 years after buying the Ferrari, Ryan slipped off the road, crashing the car into a field, mainly because he was driving in the snow. Locals were amazed Ryan was driving the
Why are you driving a Ferrari in the snow? You won $8 million. Buy a Ferrari and a fucking winter vehicle. You don't drive a fucking $400,000 sports car when it's fucking snowing.
Ferrari in that weather, especially when he had a more suitable Range Rover he could use. The Ferrari was not understood to be running on winter.
Oh, Joe, you said if you had one, you would drive it into the ground? Yeah, I said I would drive it all the time. I wouldn't have it as a show vehicle. But when it's snowing, I wouldn't. If it's winter, who cares? But I'm saying when it's wet outside or like really fucking snowy, you don't drive a sports car like that. I used to have a Camaro. That was my first car. I had a 2010 Camaro used. It had like 65,000 miles on it or so. Now I drive a Jeep. Everybody knows I drive a Jeep. I still have the Camaro, but I used to just drive that everywhere. And since I live in New Jersey, when it would snow, bro, I would almost crash like every time, just because it's a rear-wheel drive car. Like when you turn on a rear-wheel drive sports car, you're gonna crash. Like, it's bad.
Tires
I got used to actually having to be fucking... I would slide in the snow and I wouldn't even be nervous. I would just be used to it.
While costing around £4,400, hugely boost grip and handling in icy conditions. Ryan's property development business then dissolved, which was a
Somebody said your video is delayed. Your webcam is delayed. Chat, is my webcam delayed? If it's a no, I'm banning after party.
accompanied by a divorce from his wife and the sale
Warzone for the sub.
of his luxury home. Then, 2 years later, Ryan McGee was pulled over driving an uninsured Ford Focus without a license. However, the most interesting part is that he had to claim legal aid, which is a service for those who are unable to afford a lawyer. Now, Ryan McGee was a complete idiot with his money. However, he still looks like Albert Einstein when compared to Martin Todd.
You know, like, losing $1 million, I get it. When you lose $10 million, that's fucking hard to do. That's fucking hard to do. How many things did you buy to lose $10 million?
Martin and his wife Kay won £3 million back in 2001. They didn't go in to claim the prize because, well, they had no idea that they were winners. They'd purchased a ticket in passing, completely forgotten about it, and would only come to realize that they were the winners after hearing about the unclaimed prize over 6 months later. The main problem was that at some point, the ticket had been misplaced or thrown out completely. Despite frantically searching, the pair couldn't find their ticket, but were sure they had won because the jackpot numbers matched the ones they used every week. Computer records in their local Londis proved Kay really had purchased the ticket, and the thrilled pair rushed to tell lottery organizer Camelot to claim their prize. But they fell victim to a little-known rule, stating lost tickets must be reported within 30 days. After 45...
I'm going manic. I'm probably gonna rob like 7 7-Elevens. And then I'm just gonna drive straight into the Atlantic Ocean. Straight to the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean. I don't know which one yet. And then that's it.
Days of deliberation, Camelot told the devastated couple that they would not be collecting the jackpot, and as a result, the couple's marriage eventually came to an end. We'd only known each other for 2 years, and the lottery ordeal quickly highlighted our differences. All we did was bicker. Sadly, both of us agreed we should split, and Kay moved out. Martin seems to have convinced himself
I would never move past that. Like, ever. Ever. If I had had a $3 million winning and I didn't claim it, 30 years from now, I would still think about that. That's insane.
But losing the ticket ended up being a good thing, having stated, "For a long time I lost sight of who I was and what I believed in. But I can honestly say I'm glad I didn't get the $3 million now. There is no guarantee it would have brought me happiness, and if there's anyone else who would have agreed with this statement, it definitely would have been the most miserable lottery winner of all time, William Post." When William won a $16.2 million jackpot back in 1988, he had
1988? 16 mil in 1988. What the fuck do you think that is today, chat? 16 mil in 1988 today. $16 in 1988 is $40 today because it's an inflation of like 2.7% per year or just about. So realistically, it's over 40 million. It's over $40 million.
Just $2.46 in his bank account and was able to purchase the lucky ticket by selling a ring for $40 to a local pawn shop. This, in conjunction with the time he'd spent in jail for cashing invalid checks, highlighted William Post's awful money management skills and acted as foreshadowing for how poorly his lottery win was eventually going to be spent. Only 84 days after receiving the $16.2 million, William Post had spent the entire fortune on a boat, a lease for a restaurant in Florida, a used car lot as
What? 84 days, you lose $40 million. Bro, that's less than 3 months.
Post had spent the entire fortune on a boat, a lease for a restaurant in Florida, a used car lot, as well as a private jet. However, even after
private jet probably was fucking $3 million.
all of the money had been spent, Post took on a further $500,000 loan to purchase a mansion in Oil City, Pennsylvania. The problem
How
was
did he think he was gonna get the fucking money back? You get a loan for $500K. You have no money. You buy a house. How are you getting the money back?
that William hadn't actually purchased the original ticket himself and had rather given the money to his girlfriend who had bought the winning ticket for him. Because of this, she was able to successfully sue him for 1/3 of the winnings, meaning that Post now owed $5.4 million to his ex-girlfriend from the $16.2 million that he no longer had. Since Post was unable to make this payment, the judge ordered that his bank account be frozen and
$5 million in debt. Dude, I would cry. Dude, you do more than fucking cry. $5 million in debt. You're fucked. You're actually fucked.
till he was able to come up with the money. However, before he was able to sell enough stuff to pay the $5.4 million, William was arrested and ordered to serve a 6 to 24 month prison term for an assault charge from 6 years prior.
Wow.
Toward the end of his life, Post was on his 7th marriage with over $1 million in debt.
7 marriages. 7. After the 5th try, I'd say, you know, maybe I shouldn't get married again. After the 5th fucking marriage, I'm gonna say maybe I don't have a good choice in women, you know?
And was getting by on food stamps at a job paying $450 per month. However, William Post still doesn't have the craziest lottery win story of all time.
Wow.
That title goes to Andrew Jackson Whitaker, whose life would change forever after winning
Bro is stone cold. Bro is stone cold fucking Steve Austin. Not even fucking moving, just stoic. Holding a $314 million check. Bro, don't give a shit.
$315 million back in 2002. Unlike almost everyone else in this video, Whitaker was actually quite successful prior to winning the lottery, having built up a net worth of over $17 million with the assistance of his construction company.
Oh, damn,
And
so
while
he
this
was already rich as shit. He was already rich as shit. Bro didn't give a fuck. Bro, yeah, I feel like once you have like $10 million, you're not gonna be like that fucking happy.
position to manage a large lottery win, this isn't what would happen. Whitaker instantly donated 10% of the winnings to churches, Christian groups, and spent a further $14 million establishing the Jack Whitaker Foundation, which provided free food and clothing for low-income families in West Virginia.
Obviously, you're doing God's work with all this money.
Yes, I am. I'm helping a lot of people, and I plan to help a lot more.
He then drove back to the convenience
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a bad story.
store where he had purchased the ticket before giving the clerk a $44,000 check, a $123,000 house, and a brand new Jeep Cherokee, which was followed by Whitaker buying himself a Lamborghini, in which he'd drive around his neighborhood throwing money out of the window. After flaunting this wealth, his Lamborghini was broken into, where thieves stole $545,000 in cash. However, this apparently
Why did you have $500,000 in cash in your fucking car? Why were you holding $545,000 in cash in your fucking Lamborghini?
much of a wake-up call, as his car was then broken into for the second time, resulting in the loss of a further $200,000 cash. Jack Whitaker's granddaughter passed away, his daughter then passed away, which was followed by a divorce with his wife.
And now you've lost your granddaughter. You're about to be divorced from your wife. Where does this ever end?
Leading him to state that he had lost everything.
I pretty much lost everything I held dear in my life.
You got lots of money.
Money has never meant anything to me. You have to have money to exist in this world, but money doesn't rule.
Oh my god! Bro, he seems like such a sweet old man too. Bro, this is so fucking sad. Literally 20 seconds ago, I was like, oh, this is a nice story. And then it just fucking got shit. I'm saying this right now. The saddest thing is watching an old man cry. It is like, not sad, like pathetic, like sad, like, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Like, have y'all ever seen like an old man cry? Like your grandfather, if they're still alive or some shit. Oh my God, never. Like, to watch an old man cry, they gotta be upset about, it has to be deep for them to be that sad about it.
Rule the world. Money is not what makes people happy.
And that he wished he had never purchased the lottery ticket in the first place.
My wife had said she'd wished that she'd torn the ticket up. Well, I wish that we had torn the ticket up too. I just don't like what I've become.
Oh, that's so sad! But we already fucking watched this video. Oh my God.